Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of A Gardener's Journey Homestead. I am Barbara. I'm in the tunnel today, and I'm doing inventory today. Yes, inventory. So I'm going through all of my seed starts, and I'm kind of documenting and capturing what I have. Because of course I know I started X number of seeds, but of course all those seeds didn't germinate. All of them may not look good, but before I get to planting, which is coming up soon, I want to kind of take an inventory of everything that I have, the varieties, the kind, so that I can more accurately kind of portray or draw out where things are going to go what. So remember, I did like a gardening crop plan about, okay, peppers are going to go here. These kind of peppers are going in the tunnel. These kind of peppers are going outside. But now that I have the actual numbers, that's going to determine a lot where things may shift, where I may not have enough of something and I'm not aware of it. But anyway, because I have so many seeds, I don't want to take for chance that, oh, okay, I have this row designated for this X amount number of tomatoes, but I only have this amount. So today is all about inventory. So I'm in the tunnel because I have plants everywhere. Okay. So for those that are brand new to me, I'm in zone 7A. I'm in Tennessee, and our estimated last frost date is actually Thursday, April the 20th. Not sure when you'll see this video, but it's coming soon. But when I look at the 10-day forecast, can you believe that on Sunday, which is the 23rd, the forecast, the high is 49 and the low is like 37. Come on, y'all. Come on. How in the world? So remember, it's an estimated last frost date. So I encourage you, no matter what zone you're in, before you start planting your stuff outside, make sure that you look at your 10-day forecast, because you may not be in the clear, right? And so I already knew that I was not going to be planting outside on my estimated last frost date. I've kind of designated May the 7th, that week of May, the first week of May, to do my outside garden. And again, that all depends on the weather, right? So I already knew I wasn't counting on April the 20th for that, because if I put something out there, and the majority of my crops out there, and we have a freeze, it's going to be too difficult for me to try to cover all of that. It's just too much space, right? In my tunnel, they're under protected culture. They may be able to survive, or it may just slow down their growth, right? I was originally going to plant things in my tunnel again the weekend, like after the estimated last frost date. But now that the temperature right now is saying that it's going to be 49 on Sunday and 35 to 37 that night, I'm probably not going to do that now. Even though it'll be in the tunnel and the temperature may get, it may stay around 40. I just don't want to take the chance of planting out all my stuff in my tunnel and it stunts its growth or it kills it. So we won't be planting. It doesn't look like in the next week. Maybe after that. We'll keep watching the 10-day forecast. But either way, we are close. We are close, whether it's in the next week and a half or the next couple of weeks. And I apologize if I sound nasally. I've been coming down with something. I've really been resting and being in the bed all day. And I decided to just come out and just get me some fresh air, which the fresh air is doing me some good, because it's helping my nose to clear up. I was all like stuffy and congested. So I'm not doing anything strenuous. I just came out here to water my plants. And I came out here to count the ones that's in the tunnel. And then if I feel like fertilizing, I will. If not, I'll just go back in the house. So this is definitely one of those days I'm doing what I can when I can. Okay, so when I mentioned that I have plants everywhere, let's see if we can get out of the sun. When I mentioned that I have plants everywhere, I do. I have plants, seed starts in my tunnel. I have them in my house, and I also have them in my sunroom. The ones that are in my house and sunroom, they are getting too tall to be under the grow lights. So what I've been doing is, when the weather is nice like it is today, I've been putting them outside on the sidewalk. So you can say I'm already like jumpstart hardening off. And let's talk a little bit about hardening off. So the books say, the experts say, you should harden off your plants. What does that mean? That means when you have started your seeds indoors, before you plant them out in the field or in your ground, raised bed or whatever outside, you want to harden them off, meaning you want to take them outside gradually over usually like a week period to get them acclimated to the outside weather, get them acclimated to the wind, get them acclimated to the temperature change. So that way they don't have what they call transplant shock, right? So that is what they call hardening off. So typically experts and books will tell you to take your plants outside, sit them outside for like a couple of hours the first day, and then each day increase by an hour. So on day 1, they may be out for an hour, day 2, 2 hours, day 3, 3 hours, so forth and so on, until, you know, they get hard enough and they can get acclimated. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't harden off intentionally, right? I did like my first year, but last year I did not, and my plants were just fine. This year, they just been out there all day and they seem to be just fine, right? Now, I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm just telling you what the book says. I'm telling you what the experts say, and I'm also telling you what I have done. But you figure out what's comfortable for you, and you do you, right? So my plants have been out there all day long because I don't have the time, the energy, or the motivation to take all of those plants, those trays. I mean, we're talking, you know, 18 trays easily, right? Take them outside for an hour and then lug them all back inside. Like, I don't have the time. Now, if it was harming my plants, I guess maybe I would put forth the effort, but I just put them out there all day and I bring them in at night. That's what I've been doing for those that are too tall for the grow lights, right? Because I was seeing some burning and some scorching on some of my plants. But let me turn you around and so you can see all the things that's out here. So I've already done a count for some of the stuff in my house. I got to do some more counts as well. And again, I'm growing, you know, I would say a reasonably large amount of food, which is why I'm taking inventory, because I want to make sure that I'm maximizing my space, and I want to make sure that I have what I need. And if I don't, I need to start some more seeds, which I will be doing a second round of seed starting in just a week or so. And that'll be for my succession planting and also for the areas behind my house, where right now behind my house I have onions and garlic. The garlic will be ready probably in June, and so will the onions. And so I still have a long growing season. And so I'll be starting some seeds in the next week or so, so that when those things come out, I already have stuff to put in and they'll already kind of be established. Okay, so let me turn you around and let me show you what's out here. Okay, so you can see all the plants that I have out here that I need to kind of count and see what it is that I have. So let me see, because I was taking notes on my phone, and obviously I'm using my phone to capture this video. I didn't bring my camera out here. So this is kind of what all I have. You can see goes all the way back. And then I have a few over here as well. So let me, okay, I got all my counts out here. So next I need to go do my front porch and also the sunroom, which most of that stuff is outside as well. Another reason why it's important to do this, at least for me, like I try to be organized as much as I can in my head. I'm not necessarily what am I trying to say? I'm not necessarily the top at organizing, but I do like to be as organized as I can be. And for me, this is gonna like let me know how many I have. Like, as I was going through, I saw that my Bracanto peppers, which are these, this is a hybrid, I think it's a yellow hybrid bell pepper. Yeah, because it's a yellow hybrid bell pepper. I only have 7 of those, right? I know on my plan I was supposed to have 12, so I'm 5 short, which again is fine. I can always start more of those seeds, but I wouldn't know that until I did an inventory or until I got ready to plant it, right? And I may or may not have space. The other reason is because I'm planting at 2 different times. Like, my tunnel will be faster, and then my faster meaning I'll do that first before I do my in-ground garden. Some of my stuff, again, it is ready to go in the ground like right now. And the more and more I hold on, the more and more I jeopardize it. But what are you going to do, right? Some stuff can't be up potted anymore. It needs to like just go in the ground. It needs more soil. So it's also going to give me an idea of how things are looking that's going to go in here, which is going to be a lot quicker. Can I hold on for another week? Yeah, I can. But another 2 to 3 weeks, And the outside, I don't know. So what am I going to do about that? But at least I'll have an idea, and maybe I need to shift some stuff about what's going to come in the tunnel versus what's going to go out there. But anyway, that's all. That's why I'm doing all this. It'll just help me know what I have, what's going where. You know, I know what I planned, but what do I have enough of, and do I have enough to fill up the whole row? Do I not? Let's move some things around. So that's the reason why I'm doing it. But I'm going to head to the house and do some more counting up there, and I'll meet you back up at the house. Okay, y'all, I'm back up at the house. I'm in the sunroom, and y'all, I'm so glad I did inventory. So glad. So a couple of things. First of all, do y'all want to know how many plants, how many seed starts I have? Who wants to take a guess? Who wants to take a guess of how many seed starts I have? Y'all, I have almost I have over 500. I don't know if that's good or bad. I have over 500 seed starts. What's on my paper is 491. The ones that I feel like are good, viable. I have some that's kind of like on the struggle bus that they may or may not bounce back, come back to life, but I didn't count them. So if they don't, they're not in the count. But if we're talking about how many seed starts I have over 500. But what's on this paper is 491. So y'all know I try to be as organized as possible, and I love spreadsheets. I love Excel. So I took all the information on my phone. So what I did was, you saw me in the tunnel. So after that, I came back up to my house. I had plants inside my house and on my front porch. I took inventory of those. I also had plants in the sunroom and outside of my back patio porch area, and I took inventory of those. So all of that combined is the 491. So all of those were in my phone, in my notes app. If you're an iPhone user, if you know, you know, okay? But I took it from my notes app, sent it to myself in email, and then I put it in a spreadsheet. So you can kind of see here, I have it designated by herbs, flowers, peppers, you can see starting at the bottom, then tomatoes, and then produce, right? And I color coded it. I separated it by those categories instead of just putting it all in one big glob. So that way I can see how many flowers I have, how many herbs, how many tomatoes, how many peppers. And then under miscellaneous produce, I put like my cucumbers, my okra, my squash. I did this for what it must have been the Holy Spirit, because it just kept nagging me to do an inventory. And I'm kind of, like I said, I'm organized in my brain like that anyway. I want to know what I have. But it kept nagging me. It would not leave me alone until I did this inventory. But I'm so glad that I did, because it helped in a lot of ways. One, the fact that I have it now on the computer, I ain't got to type this but once, because next year, if I grow the same varieties, then I can at least just copy and paste, and I can just fill in the numbers. If I don't grow that variety, I can then just delete the cell. So once I've created this, I can modify this year after year, season after season, if I wanted to do an inventory. And I already have these names in here of the things that I'm growing. And more than likely next summer, I will at least grow 75% of these things, I'm sure. Right, but that part is done. So now I kind of have a framework, right? So that's number one. Can y'all tell I'm excited? I'm so excited. Okay, so now I have a framework. The second thing is the reason why I'm glad that I did this. I saw some things that are some gaps that like, didn't quite pay attention that I don't have enough of that. So one is, y'all, I started habanero peppers, which are, the spicy orange ones. Then I also started habanada peppers. Those are the spice of the habanero, but no heat. Okay. Unless something got wrong, I don't have any habanados. Zero. None. So if I want some of those, I know I need to start those again. For whatever reason, didn't germinate, didn't take, or whatever. And then when it came to habaneros, I only have, let me go to my handy little spreadsheet. I only have 2 habaneros, y'all. 2. So again, I won't make it to, if I want to start seeds and get them in the because the habaneros are slated to go outside from my original crop plan. So if I'm gonna plant outside in my in-ground garden in 3 weeks, obviously my habaneros, if I start them today, they're not gonna be ready, so to speak. Like they're not gonna have the jump start that these two have, right? But if I wanted some more habaneros, then I can plan to put them outside in my backyard, but I need to put that into my crop plan because originally that was not on the crop plan for out there. But if I really want them bad enough, then I can, or I know I can go buy me some seed starts. And I've seen habaneros, at least last summer, I saw habaneros in the big box stores. So again, y'all, remember I told you, if you've been following me, my goal was to grow as many of my own seeds as I could and to not buy seed starts at the big box stores and get caught up unnecessarily and just buying stuff that I have already grown or could have grown and didn't, right? But this is a classic example. If I wanted to go and buy me some habanero seed starts, then I can. And I tried, it didn't work, so to speak. Now, can I do it again? I can, but if I wanted to go ahead and get me some now, then I feel justified that I can go to the big box store and put them in my cart, okay? Because why? I know that I don't have enough. Y'all, I'm telling you, you may not be organized like me, but I'm telling you, this is anything in life. This is how I run my business. This is how I run my house. This is how I run my personal stuff. Efficiency is key. If you can have a process, if you can have a system, if you can be organized, it's gonna make things just go a lot better. Y'all, I'm hyped, okay? Because knowledge is power. Okay, so a couple of other ahas. So I talked about having a spreadsheet. I don't have to type it again. 2, I found out I didn't have a lot of habanero peppers. Also, when it came to my greenhouse production, I was able to see in numbers version, okay, what germinated well and what did not germinate well. So for tomatoes, y'all, I have like over 100 plus tomato seed starts. But now I'm gonna go even further and I'm gonna break down how many slicers I have, how many paste tomatoes, and how many cherry. Again, to make sure that I have the ratio that I want, right? So I'm gonna use my slicers, obviously, for fresh eating, sandwiches, things like that. My paste tomatoes are gonna be primarily for sauce and salsa. My cherry tomatoes are really like for salads, to sell, things like that. And then of course I'll sell some of the slicers as well. But knowing how I'm going to use it is gonna help me dictate what ratio I need. And I really want a good ratio in between all 3 of those, the slicers, the paste, and the cherry. If I had to go lighter on one, I'm thinking right now it would be the cherry tomatoes because, and yes, you can use those for sauce, but paste tomatoes are better because it just doesn't get as runny, so it's less work. But the cherry tomatoes, if I had to pick a category to go less on, it would be the cherry tomatoes. And that's me not thinking about selling those. I don't know how well they will sell. If they're a great seller, then great. But if they were not a great seller, then that would be the ones that I would probably want the least of, just because I'm just usually using those for fresh eating and for salads. So do I need, 20 plants worth? Maybe not, I don't know. But that's for another conversation. What else that kind of stood out to me? I have a lot of flowers. So I have over 100 flowers that I've started, with the bulk of them being zinnias, which is what I wanted, and celosia and sunflower. My rudbeckia, I only have 11 rudbeckia, and I don't remember how many I started, but I started way more than 11. So again, that let me know the germination was low. If I want more rudbeckia, I need to kind of plan for that. My marigolds did not do as well. Right now I have about 21 marigolds, and that may be enough, but compared to how many I started, the germination rate on the marigolds was not good at all. But again, now I know that. Another thing that stood out to me, and I have more peppers. Let's see. Do I have more? Okay, yeah, I have more peppers than anything. Like, that is the number one thing that I have. So peppers is the highest, then tomatoes, and then flowers. So peppers, I got a lot of peppers. And the ahi mango pepper, I have 11 of those. That's a new pepper I'm trying. I don't even know that I want 11, needed 11. but I think I started a row of 12 because I did it in like the 72 cell tray. And I started a row just to kind of not make it confusing. And because I never grown it, I don't know what the germination rate. Apparently the germination rate was great. So I have 11 of those. Those are little small peppers. I mean, I'll keep them, but I don't know that I wanted 11, all right? The shishito, I have 9 of those. That's plenty because last year I grew a lot of shishitos and they went unused. So yeah, but anyways, I'm kind of going through, I got a lot of bell peppers, which is what I wanted. I have a lot of bell peppers, but I use a lot of bell peppers. So if don't nobody buy 1 pepper, I'm good because I use a lot of peppers. Yeah, peppers, all good. So anyway, y'all, I could go on and on and on, but I'm sure y'all don't want this to be, you know, an hour-long premiere video. But yeah, this was like really good information. Y'all have a lot of basil. I have over 30 basil of all different kinds. Now, what am I gonna do with all that basil? I'm gonna make some pesto. It's gonna help as companion plant with the flowers. I don't know, we may sell some of it. Again, I'm kind of guessing. And another thing, y'all, is that I can see how this year goes because again, some of this is a guess. Because sometimes it's hard to figure out how much do I need, especially something like an herb that you may not be using. Now I can freeze it, I can make pesto and do all those things, right? So it definitely won't go to waste. But at the end of the season, I will know if it was enough or not for what I wanted to use it for. So when I go next year and I look back and say, oh, I had 30 basil and man, that was good, but I could have used more. Then now I know next year, 30 may sound like a lot, but really, girl, you need 40. Or man, 30 was overkill. It gives information. But had I not captured it and made an inventory of it, I would have never known. Because when it's planting day and I'm out there planting, I may say, ooh, I don't have enough space to put this basil, but I'm not thinking, okay, I got 10 left. Okay, how many did I already plant? Ooh, I had 30. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I wish y'all were like right here, you know, in the sunroom with me, so we can just chat it up. So yeah, I'm excited. So anyway, I got my nice little spreadsheet. I took inventory. Y'all can see that here. So what I'm gonna do now on the next step is, and I may do this, if y'all wanna see it on video, let me know. You may not, and that's fine. But what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna look at all this information. I will categorize the stuff that needs to be categorized, and then I'm gonna go back to my crop plan that I laid out for the space behind my house, the tunnel, and the in-ground garden, and see what I said I was gonna put where, compared to the numbers that I have, and kind of place it in my mind. So for example, in the in-ground garden, if I have a 100-foot row of tomatoes, and I was gonna put 25 beefsteak and 10 Paul Robeson, well, if I only have 5 Paul Robeson, then I know, okay, I need more to fill up that row. Does that make sense? So I'm gonna go back to my crop plan now that I have the information and decide exactly what's gonna go where. And then also I will make a list of what I need to restart or buy for the rest of the season, okay? So that is the plan of what I'm gonna do next. So y'all, thank you so much for joining me. Y'all see those beautiful plants behind me? Yes, so thank you guys so much for joining me as we took inventory, as we nailed down what we actually have, that we have over 500 seed starts, but we don't just have them, we know exactly what we have, we know the numbers, and now we can go and accurately kind of just place everything and get ready for planting day. Planting day is on the way. If you don't know, and you didn't follow me last year, for the in-ground garden space, that was the first time that we had that in-ground space. And I had a planting party. I invited some of my friends and they came to help me plant the garden. They just wanted to come and help. And so now we've kind of just made it a thing. They wanted to come again. So we're going to have annual planting day. We are scheduled to do that, I think on May the 7th. Either May the 7th or May the 1st. We may move it up. Anyway, there will be a planting day for the in-ground tunnel. That'll be the major planting where we plant the in-ground space. The tunnel, I'll probably just do that on my own. We'll see. But anyway, either way, y'all, planting day In your area is coming soon. Planting day in my area is coming soon. Y'all, it's a special day. It's like a holiday. It's like a holiday. So I'm excited. Remember. This is all a journey. Now, you may not nerd out on this stuff like I do. You may not want to spreadsheet your stuff. You may not want to take inventory. That's perfectly fine. Is your stuff still going to grow? Yes, it's going to grow. It's going to be just fine. But if you like to nerd out on this kind of stuff like me, or you have a big space and you want to just kind of see it all organized, get you a spreadsheet. Write it down on a piece of paper so you can see what you have. And if you don't have a large space and you still want to do it, go right ahead. This is for those that want to do it and for those that just enjoy seeing me do it and get all excited about it. Thank you for tuning in. If you like what you're seeing on my channel, please subscribe, hit the like button below, leave me a comment, let me know what you thought, and share this on your social media. Remember, gardening is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.